Well, about 2 years ago, my nephew left me a present on his way out west. And it's been a long time. I've been looking at this thing in my safe during that time. And about 2 months ago, I thought, you know what, I'm going to try this thing out, see if it actually works or does anything. Hi, everyone. It's the Four Gun Guy. And the thing I'm talking about is right here, right there. It's a suppressor. So what I wanted to do is just do a pretty short video on the story behind it, things to consider if you're going to get a suppressor, what it's meant to me the last 2 matches, and we'll have some final thoughts. So if you're ready to go, let's get to it. Well, as I said, this was dropped off to me by my nephew. 42 states allow these, 8 or 9 don't. So he was going to one that does not. So he added me to his trust. Now there's a few different ways you can own one of these. One is right out, it's just you, you can't share it, no one else can use it. That's one level. Another level, the level he used, was a trust. So he bought this through a trust. He can add people to the trust, remove people from the trust, and that's what he did. And that's how I was able to get this and use it as I do today. There's another level that's more for, hey, if you're going to own 5 or 6 of these and you're going to share them to a group of people, let's say you're going on a hunting trip or something like that, there's a whole nother trust that makes it easier for you to add and remove people for use. I'm not going to go into that. Companies like Silencer Co., all these companies that sell these things, they have a step-by-step process that you can follow to obtain one of these. Obtaining one has dropped from like a year wait down to, some of my guys have gotten them in 3 days. Generally speaking, it looks like it's probably more realistically 3 to 4 weeks of a wait time. But I don't know what's happened, but it's much easier to obtain one of these than it used to be. So look, let's talk now about some of the things that I've noticed ever since I've started using this thing. Well, a good buddy of mine, Jose Garza, really got me in the mood to mount this thing because I've watched him use his at matches and it just intrigued me, right? And he loves them. He says it's been great to use. And so about 3 weeks ago, I thought, you know what? I'm going to take that thing out of the safe. I'm going to put it on my 6mm BRA. That's what this is. It's got a new barrel on it, a little lighter barrel than the one I had on there. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to take this out there and play around with it. So I did. I liked how it felt. I liked the recoil much better than my muzzle brake, and I have a really good muzzle brake that I have on this, or I had on this thing. And it just felt good. I can't explain it other than that. So I took it to a match. Took it to one of our Anderson matches, which is in Anderson, Texas, and it's a pretty tough match. I mean, first 4 stages with this thing on there, I was almost lights out. I mean, I was hitting targets. The last 4 stages, it was me and the wind, and I just screwed it up. But the first 4 stages, I had my buddies even looking at me going, dang, you're really doing well with that rifle. And I was surprised. I just shot a match this past weekend, 84 shooters, and I was 14th. So top 20 for me is really good for me and my skill level and my age. So I was very happy about that. But I have to say, the thing that gave me confidence was this, and I'm going to tell you why. First off, I don't have the big muzzle blast I had with a brake. The recoil to me feels like it's coming more back into my shoulder, which is really what I've looked for in recoil. I've really tried to make that happen. So I don't let the muzzle jump. I'm trying to bring it back. This really helps me with that. I feel that I am more on target after the shot than with the muzzle brake. And guys, I've run a lot of muzzle brakes. So I've run the DN5 from MPA. I have the Area 419 Sidewinder match, which I love. That's my favorite brake, period, hands down. And I've been running that on this one. I still run that on my gas gun. Love it. But this just seemed to calm things down for me. It seemed to calm the whole rifle down. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think if you get behind something with a suppressor on it, I think you'll understand what I'm talking about. Let's talk about point of impact shift. Some people told me that I would see up to, at 100 yards, up to a 2-inch point of impact shift. Zero point of impact. I was shocked. I took the muzzle brake off at the range. I mounted this thing at 100 yards, dead center, dead center, dead center. So I was shocked, happily shocked, but I was shocked. What I did notice was a 25 foot per second increase in velocity. So I was running 28.10. I'm now at 28.30, which is right about where I wanted to be. And I love that velocity. Both matches, the Anderson match, 100 yard or 1,000 yard, 1 MOA targets, 1 MOA, 1,000 yards is this, right? So it's this. At 1,000 yards, I hit it 3 times. And I'm telling you, the reason I hit it 3 times is because we were shooting a 2 MOA target, then the 1 MOA target. And this allowed me to stay on the target, the 2 MOA. You had to impact it, then you could shoot the 1. If you missed the 1, you had to go back to the 2. But I was able to stay on those targets easier with this on there and the recoil that it mitigated. Same thing with this last match. We went out to 1,075. I know I hit one of those, but the other stage I think was 9 something, impacted those targets as well. So very happy with how this is functioning. I'm not telling you to run out and get a suppressor. I'm just telling you that I wish I had done this sooner. Now let's talk about something that I tried that didn't work out so well. The first thing I mounted the suppressor on was this thing. And boy, what a mistake. So this is a 6.5 Creedmoor gas gun. And I know people run suppressors on them, but man, it was a disaster. It didn't like this at all. The rifle didn't like the suppressor did not like the rifle. And what I ended up with was just a mess. I had extreme blowback, and I even adjusted the gas block to handle it. But the brass was so filthy dirty afterwards. I mean, I will never do that again. You can try it. It might do well with your rifle, maybe not. But, so that did not work for me. With this rifle, I'm gonna stick with this. I don't see the need to go out and buy another suppressor. This thing is awesome because it's got a brake on the end of it here, which really, I think that helps mitigate a lot of that recoil that people say they have with suppressors. I think that really helps a lot. I've got the quick detach on here, which I really like because I can just take this thing off quickly, transport it when I get to the range, put it back on, and I'm good to go. It locks on. I haven't had any baffle strikes or anything like that with it. It's lined up perfectly. And so I'm really, really happy with that. Well, look, I just wanted to try to keep this kind of short and tell you that I've got a new love in my shooting life, and that is this Omega 300. And I've got to tell you, I'm going to be running this all next year. I will run suppressed from this point on. I'm that happy with it. Well, hey, thanks for watching, everyone. I've got a lot more coming up. The weather's getting cooler, so I'm going to try to get out to the range, do some more practice videos. And I've got some guests that I'm going to have on some of my videos. We're going to talk about some pretty interesting stuff that I think you'll really want to hear. So thanks again, and until next time, shoot straight.